The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful day. I wish we could all be together in person. Hopefully, we'll be able to welcome everyone back into our space for in-person learning opportunities. My name is Jennifer Vivian. I'm the Manager of Entrepreneurial Services at the City of Brampton, and I'll be your host for this morning's Entrepreneurs Connect webinar on starting and operating a business. This session is hosted by the City of Brampton's Entrepreneur Center in partnership with TD Bank. For those of you unfamiliar with the Brampton Entrepreneur Center, we are an innovative partnership between the province of Ontario and the City of Brampton, belonging to a large network of 54 small business enterprise centers across Ontario that offers entrepreneurs various tools to start and grow their businesses. If you're interested in learning more about the network and some of the wonderful learning opportunities that exist, I encourage you to check out sbcontario.ca. I will put that in the chat box and include it in your follow-up email. I would now like to pay special attention to our series partner, TD Bank. Without their generous and ongoing support of our center, event series like this would not be possible. Before I begin, I'd like to go over a few housekeeping items. First off, this webinar is being recorded and a copy will be made available on the City of Brampton's YouTube account. A link to the recording will be sent to you later today, along with a copy of today's presentation. If you go to your participant control panel, I have also uploaded a copy of the presentation in the handout section, so you're welcome to download a copy there or wait for the email later today. There will be time at the end of the presentation for Q&A. Everyone will remain muted, so we ask that you please use the question box on your participant control panel to type in your questions, and at the end, there will be time for your questions to be addressed. In the event we are unable to get to your question this morning, you're welcome to email us or our speakers directly. It gives me a great pleasure to introduce our speakers today. We have two of them who will be here to discuss how to set up your business for success, including how to prepare a robust business plan and your financing requirements. Kaushal Munshi is an account manager, small business with TD Canada Trust, having more than 8 years of business banking experience in various TD branches of Brampton. Currently, he is looking after 2 branches in East Brampton, the one at Cottrell and Highway 50, and the other at Queen and Airport Road. He has been with the bank for more than 16 years and has extensive experience meeting the needs of business banking clients and assisting with all types of SBB credit and deposit products. Khyati Harsora is an account manager of small business at the County Court and Huron, Ontario branch. She has been with TD for more than 5 years and has been serving the business banking clients for the last 3 years. Please join me in welcoming our speakers this morning. I'll let you take it away.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Jennifer, for such a wonderful, warm welcome. My name is Khyati Harsora. I will be helping you to know some of these insights about starting and operating your own business. We have helped many customers like you to start their small businesses. I'm sure there's nothing quite as exciting as starting your own business, and I'm sure many of you agree with me on that one. The agenda for today will be setting up for success, starting a business, the business plan, your financial needs, manage your cash flow, and additional consideration that you can consider for operating a business. So setting up for success. So basically, everybody, the first-time entrepreneurs have close to 18% of success rate over the past. At the same time, there has been a predicted success rate for failed serious entrepreneurs in around 20% and around 30% for entrepreneurs with successful track records. As such, we all know there are a lot of risks and uncertainty associated with starting your own business. The first and foremost is what you all want to do is clarify what you want to do. Consider the idea and ask yourself, do a little bit of brainstorming. and tell whether your idea is already there in the market, or is it something new that you're coming up with? Do you really think that there will be profit out of that idea? That's something that you really want to focus on. The next important thing is you want to think, I want to buy an existing business or I want to start from scratch. These two are two separate things. Everybody has different view and vision that they want to do. And both of these ideas come with separate set of risks. So I would definitely tell you all to consider the pros and cons of the decision that you take. Established business or starting up from scratch. Another important thing is to find a mentor. You basically want to gain expertise and from the people who have already experienced. I would suggest that, leverage family, friends, any colleagues who've already been in that industry and try to get some ideas or help about how they have been successful. So now, when you have all this in your mind, you are going to think that I want to start this business. When you come up with your idea that this is what I want to do, you definitely want to go and speak to a professional advice to make sure that your idea is structured. You definitely want to go speak to a lawyer, an accountant, and other professional advice who can determine whether what your thoughts are and about the legal structure for your business. It is very important to make sure that when you start that you know what the structure of your business is. Another important thing when you're starting is separate your business and personal finances. You definitely don't want to see a business expense entry in your personal account. So it's very important to consider to separate your business checking account and your personal account. Also, another important part is when you want to make your expenses, you want to see a list of the items that you're doing. I would also recommend that you get a business credit card, which is attached to your account. This will help you to keep a track of your expenses. And at the same time, it will also help you to keep your expenses separate. Another important task that I would also suggest is track your income and expenses. When you're starting up, you definitely don't have like everything in place. So you want to make a track of where am I spending? What is the smaller incomes that I'm getting? Try to save all your receipts, your bills or invoices, which might help you in future. It's very important for that. Now, the main part of this is to write a business plan. When I say a business plan, it means that what my thoughts are, I'm penning it down on the paper. It basically helps you to provide direction, what you want to do, how you want to do, how you want to take this forward. TD has a good online business planner. If you want to use that, you can use that as a startup. It has good points as well on that. The most important part, the business plan. A business plan is basically a, a booklet. It's basically your thing where you're going to put all your products. What do you do in the business? What is your business idea? What are you going to do? Who are your customers going to be? Is there any competition of this business? How are you going to market your plan, your target audience? Like everything about what your service or product is, you're going to pen it down in a plan. This is going to definitely help you to know where you are leading to. Now, the first step, every time when you open a business plan, you want to see that anybody who's reading it, may it be a banker or may it be anybody where you're presenting, you want to know what is the crux of this business plan. You're basically going to share what your vision is, where are you currently? What are your skill set for this business? What do you want to be in a year's time, maybe 3 years, 5 years, and where you plan to take this business? You definitely want to make a very impactful statement on that is going to help the person reading it to ensure that yes, this is something that is interesting. Then you want to outline the progressive steps that will take your business from the present to your future goals. This basically means where you are currently. You want to make up a plan in terms of, okay, this is the first thing that I will be doing. I will be doing this. It basically helps you to know where you are and what goal do you want to achieve. That is what is very important. The next step is once you have all these thoughts in your mind, you're putting it on the paper, you want to make sure that you draft it now. So you know what your future goals are. You know where you are now. You know the steps that you want to reach to your future goals. But to break it down into smaller term immediate goals is very important. After 2 years or 1 year, you know you want to achieve this. But in next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, you don't know what you are going to do. That is what is very important, that you're going to draft it down and put it in smaller term goals. What is the first and foremost things? You need business licenses, you need to do your permits or anything. That's something that you're going to start with, basically to bring it to the main part. Another part is you're going to say your financial, explain the financials and projections. This is a very important part. You basically want to know where your financials are. So basically, if it is an established business, you will see what is it doing, what is the revenue, how much is the expenses in that business, how much is the net income. That's how you come to know. If you're starting up from scratch, you're starting something new, you want to know, you want to project your income, you want to project your revenue, you don't know what your sales are. So you want to make up a projection which is going to help you to know after 1 year, where am I going to be? After 2 years, where do I see? Show that the business has a potential to upscale while protecting its market advantage. This is also very important and a nice point. It says that you want to know that this business is growing. You want to show the cash flow. You want to show the growth year on year, where you are going to be. This basically makes the startup of your draft. Once you have done that, you want to know that, okay, I have done this as per my thought, but does it make sense? Do I need to add something? I would suggest definitely get a feedback. Get somebody else to view on it. Your family, your friends, your colleagues who are going to be your mentor, they can definitely help you looking at it, right? Display your professionalism. Make sure that you know what are the rules. What am I going to do with this? Where do I make a line to for any of the businesses? Explain how you would cope with risks and growth conditions. Very important part. We all know every business comes with a risk. Every business also comes with a very great growth potential. With so many unknowns ahead of you, one area that is worth your focus and attention is your skill as an entrepreneur. You definitely want to know that you know what skills you have, and you want to know that how am I going to grow this? Put it in points. Just explain this. What are the growth? Why will this business grow? And of course, put it down. What are the risks associated with it? Show what governance and control are in place. You basically want to make rules again for your business. Just these are the policies. Make certain policies that this is how I'm going to do. That's going to help you when you put that in paper on a business plan. It will definitely help you. Explain key performance indicators you will use. This is basically in your plan, you want to show that why my business is going to grow. What are the main performance indicators? That is what going to help you in this part. I will let my colleague Kaushal to continue from here. Over to you, Mr. Kaushal.
Thank you, Khyati. And uh, so now we will go through the detail about the business plan, how you can elaborate the different sections into your business plan, and uh, of course, how best way it will be utilized in the future, how you can start operation of your business. First and foremost thing I will say, first step is the introduction of your business. So what kind of a business structure is there, whether it's a sole proprietorship or whether it's incorporation? You can take the help with your accountant or your lawyer to generate the structure, the location of the business, type of the business plan, whether how you are going to market, whether online presence is there, what kind of financing you required in order to start the business. What you are going to do means what is the activity of the business, how you're going to do it, and how you are differentiate with the other people into the same market area. Any intellectual property, licensing requirement, contracts, getting money from any other sources you require. So everything you can include into the introduction of the business. A very much important aspect is your market, where you are going to sell your products and services. What is the market demand into the same area where you are operating the business? Why customer will buy from you? And are you operating with a specific business model? Market research, SWOT analysis, competitor SWOT analysis, what other people are doing and how you will differentiate yourself from the other people, and what kind of other advantages you are offering to your clients. That is also very much important that you can mention into your market plan. Capacity and delivery, basically, which outline that how your suppliers and third-party support you're getting, whether they are offering you some kind of a credit facility, what kind of a contingency plans you have. Means if for all you are having some delay in your supplies, or if for all you're short of the financing, how you're going to cope up in that kind of situation. That is also very much important when you are preparing your business plan. Financial feasibility is also equally important. How much you need for the startup cost, break-even analysis, cash flow forecast, accessing the financing, personal financial statements. That is also equally important, because in order to start up, of course, you have to prepare what is the source of your own fund, as well as how you are managing the money from the other sources. Competition, of course, that is a absolutely main important factor, because how best way you can develop your business and how you can prove the edge over the competitors, absolutely important. You have to make the plan in a way, and you have to find out the ways how best way you are providing much better services as compared to your competitors. Pricing and margin, obviously, that is also a very much important factor. You have to be rational. How best way you can provide your pricing. There's no point putting absolutely where something, the prices are very high or very low. You have to be very much rational, and meeting the cost of the demand also. That is also equally important. Your marketing plan, one of the very much important factor. Profile of your target customers. You have to find out the ways which are your target customers for customer buying experiences, advertising tactics, online presence, social media, how you are going to market even onto the social media websites. Your trust and credibility of your business is also equally important. And once you will establish that, obviously customer loyalty will come from there only. Your customers are the best referral source, because one customer who is satisfied with your business and with the dealing with you, obviously they will refer to the other people, and that's the best source of expanding your business. Business compliance, of course, each and every business is having their own rules and regulations, and the same thing you can also jot down, or you can plan, or you can input into your business plan uh, how to provide the credit to your client, or uh, mm, whether a certain dealings you wanted to go ahead or not, uh, what kind of the government requirements are required, licensing, permits, any insurance requirement is there. Everything you have to plan upfront uh, in order to be a successful. Everything else means, of course, how best way, other aspects, because all the other aspects are depending upon a business to business, and that also you have to take into the consideration. Next. So SWOT analysis for any business plan is very much important. You have to identify what is your strength, what is your weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of your business. And that helps you define the strategies, and that will allow you to take advantage of your perceived strengths and opportunities while minimizing your weaknesses and threats. Because um, you are the best judge, and based on your experience, based on your education, you know how best way you can float the ideas, and you will be successful into your business. At the same time, you know, you have to understand that which are the market threats, which are the competitors threats, and how best way you can find out the opportunities out of that also. Next. Your financial needs, of course, you can find the same thing. All different kind of calculators are available even on the TD website, or any other external sources also you can explore. But you have to find out, and you have to identify the exact cost. You have to calculate that. So estimate the cost of all equipments required to start your business, like a computer, any equipments, machinery, vehicles, any improvement into any leasehold properties, everything you have to take into the consideration. Factor in hidden costs, like deposits. When you are leasing the premises, you need to provide 2 months, 3 months deposits. When you are leasing any equipments, you have to provide some kind of a down payment also. So all these things also very much important upfront, you have to understand and always input into your business plan. Remember one-off payments also sometime, because the licensing from the city, licensing from any specific government areas you required. Any legal or accounting fees also required. Franchise fees, everything extremely important. And that also you have to input upfront at the time when you're preparing your business plan. Determine your cash flow. Cash flow is the main heart, or the most important factor of your business, because with that only you can be able to run your business on a day-to-day basis. So calculate your projected closing cash balances each month to reveal any negative amounts you need to cover that funds from any other sources. That's very much important. Cash flow, everybody, I'm not sure, but you know that cash flow means how the money is coming in with providing your services, or the sales of your products, and the out means whatever the expenses you're spending in order to run your day-to-day business activities. So find out how much cash you required in order to manage on your day-to-day basis, in order to manage your business expenses. Work out if you have a sufficient funding, because number of time in the initial days you may require a bit more, because your money in is taking a bit time. So having enough capital is crucial in any businesses. If you run out of the cash, you have to find out the ways, and do you have a contingency plan, that how you are going to manage your working capital or initial cash flow in the first 3 to 6 months time. Add your startup cost total to your total working capital requirement, because that is a very much important aspect, not only the initial startup expenses, but working capital for minimum 3 to 6 months is also equally important. Now, in order to do that, you have to work with your banker or with your accountant to find out what financing options are available for the working capital also. Next. So managing your cash flow is often one of the most pressing concern of a small or a medium-sized businesses. Cash flow is the net amount of the money that is moving into and out of the business. So the cash flow that's available in a difference between the money flowing into your business and money which is flowing out of your business. Now, if it is positive, the money which is coming into your account and the money which is going out of your account, if that difference is a positive, then and then only of course the business is making some profit, and then only you'll be successfully run your business. Two different aspects people are thinking always: what is the profit and what is the cash flow profit. Net cash flow is of course profit only, and net profit, which is of course whatever your sales amount or whatever the volume of the amount you generated. Out of that, what are the other costs, variable cost or fixed cost, which will go out, and then after whatever the remaining is there will be a net profit. And what is a net cash flow? Of course, the same thing. Whatever the money came inside your account, or because of the business, or because of the business activities, whatever you generated, and whatever the expenses you have incurred in order to run that business, and out of that, what is the residue amount? Of course, if it is a positive, obviously, then and then only you're going to continue the business. So that is a net cash flow. But at the end of the year, obviously, net profitability is obviously very much important aspect. And well, on a daily, weekly, monthly, and at the end of the year, what is the net profitability that makes you successful into the business? Leverage the TD cash flow calculator also, which is available onto the TD small business tools online, and you can take an advantage of that also when you will start and running your business. Next. Any additional considerations? Means TD is here to support you on your path toward working for yourself, regardless of where you are on that path. And so, of course, in the Brampton, we have a team of 12 account managers dedicated to provide you the services. We'll be always happy to help you to find out the ways, how best way we can help you to be successful, whether it's an existing business or whether you're planning to expand your business. We are always there to help you. Next. That's it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So just a friendly reminder that if you do have a question for our presenters today, please type them into the question box on your participant control panel, and we can address. I also included the link to one of the questions that did come in during the presentation was the link to the TD business plan resources. So you will see that in the question panel. So I guess one of the questions I'll start off with one, and it's a question that we get asked commonly is, will banks loan me 100% of what I need, or is the expectation that the owner of the business will be able to make a personal contribution?
So I will answer that question. And now it is depending upon a business to business and what will be the requirement. By and large, bank is not providing the financing 100%, but we can find out the ways. And not every time it is possible. By and large, bank is expecting 25 to 30% of the down payment or contribution from the entrepreneur. Now, certain areas are there where sometime we can go up to a 90% loan to value, means a client has to come out with the 10% of the down payment when the client is purchasing any specific equipments or any leasehold improvement. And in those cases, there is a certain credit facilities bank is offering along with the help of a government. And in those areas, we can go up to 90%, not 100% sure every time up to 90%, but by and large, we can try our best to provide up to 90% of the financing. And at 10%, of course, entrepreneur has to come out with their own financing.
Great, thank you so much. Does TD support startup businesses without any significant cash flow?
I can answer this one. Yes, so TD will look at startup businesses, but again, as Kaushal mentioned, we will look at the full picture of what the business is, how you come up with that, and then we can definitely look into it. There are separate ways that we can look at startup businesses.
Fantastic, thank you. Next question is, how long does the bank take to review my business plan prior to extending a loan?
Oh, so again, it depends on how you are preparing your business plan. We will, of course, there's no specific timeline as such, but yes, we will look into it. What are you covering all the aspects of what is required? And based on that, we can let you know about this part.
Fantastic. I guess to add to that, one service that we do offer at the Brampton Entrepreneur Center is a business plan review service. So if you're looking for an extra set of eyes to go through the plan before you take it to the bank, this is a service that we offer. We need approximately 5 to 10 business days to complete the review. When we're done, we would set up a meeting with you to discuss our suggestions on ways that the plan could be improved before submitting to the bank. And this is, like I said, a free service, and the intent is to help increase your chances of receiving a loan from a bank. Another question has just come in. So we have just opened an optical store and have used all our funds to opening. Can we have this refinanced under the CSBL?
Now, definitely I can I can answer that question. Now, under the CSBFL program, which is a Canada Small Business Financing Loan Program, refinancing is not one which is recommended each and every time. However, we can look at it how when they start the business and the time frame and what kind of expenses, because under the CSBFL program also inventory or working capital is not a part of the financing. Number of time, based on my experience, refinancing is not an option for the CSBFL. However, we can have a look at it, and then after we can explore some other options, how best we can help that client.
Thank you so much. Another question that came in before today's presentation was around credit scores and how much a credit score could potentially impact your ability to access a loan for the business.
So I can answer this. For any small business credit or loans or anything that you require from TD, we need a minimum score of 650 and above. I may not be able to tell you like how much is good or bad because we are not that to determine a good or a bad over here. But yes, I can tell you anything over 650 is mandatory for applying for small business credit. I hope that helps.
Thank you. Another question that's come in is, if I take a franchise, can I be eligible for a loan? So I'm assuming you're in the process of
I will answer that.
franchise. Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, I can answer that question, and definitely yes. It is possible. It is depending upon a franchise to franchise, and what kind of a franchise is that. Based on that, we can determine whether we can go up to 90%, up to 60%, or what exactly we can finance. Franchise fees is not usually a part of the financing. So usually client has to pay the franchise fees. The working capital, which means any initial deposit will not be a part of the financing, but otherwise any equipments, any leasehold improvement will be a part of the financing, and that will be with the strong business plan projections. Definitely we can finance for the franchise.
Great. I don't bank with TD. I currently bank with another bank. Is there a benefit to working with TD over the bank that I deal with for my personal banking?
Yes, it is fine, not mandatory. If for all your personal relationship is with any other financial institution, then also we can have a look. And then after, of course, we wanted to start the relationship and we wanted to help all the clients. Doesn't matter whether they have a relationship right now with the TD or not. But definitely, yeah, we will be able to help those clients also who are not having the existing personal relationship with the TD.
Fantastic. Another question that came in prior to today's presentation is around building out the financials. The question pertains to this individual is not a numbers person and struggles with preparing their cash flow, balance sheet, and income statement. Does the business banking managers at TD provide consulting services related to helping somebody build out their financials, or do you suggest that they work with an accountant or bookkeeper?
I will strongly recommend it is better they can deal with the outside accountant, because it will be a complete conflict when we are helping the client in order to financing anything, and that's why TD is not providing the accounting services. But yes, any we can recommend some of the accountants in the area whom are usually visiting the branch, but unfortunately we cannot provide the specific accounting services to the client.
Perfect, thank you. And if anyone is on the call is looking for finding an accountant or bookkeeper, we can certainly provide you with lists of names that you can connect with. And we also do from time to time run seminars and workshops on Financial 101 to help individuals grasp the concepts before they begin to prepare their own financial statements. So hopefully that helps. Another question has come in. What is the typical interest rate for a business loan?
Now, I will explain about that also, because usually all the businesses are having a different characteristic, and based on that, a number of credit products will be, interest rate will be depending upon. So, because each businesses are having different risk rating also from the bank standpoint, and that's why there's not a standard interest rate we can determine like on a residential mortgages. On the personal side, there's a residential mortgages, or by and large any automobile loan or personal loans are having a specific characteristic, because all those kind of credits are determined based on the personal income as well as a personal credit score, whereas all the businesses are having a different characteristic because the certain businesses are having high risk, and based on that only their interest rate will be determined. Trucking industry or a restaurant industry is considered on a bit higher side as compared to the professionals like a lawyers or doctors or dentists, right? So chances uh, of that those kind of clients may qualify with a bit lower interest rate as compared to the loan which was provided to the restaurant, because of course the lawyer's office is having a much lesser risk as compared to the restaurants. Is that a bit clear, or that's the way only I can explain?
I think you did a great job of explaining it, and that is something I know, like restaurants in particular are definitely higher risk, which obviously would,
Yes.
yeah. I guess, so this is a bit of a two-part question. So hopefully we answered part one about the interest rate. But somebody had a question about CEBA, which is the Canadian Emergency Business Account. And they are wondering if CEBA is considered for a new business that's just opening.
Oh,
And now let me explain you about that also, because so still I cannot understand exact question is because whether the client wanted to start the business and they wanted to acquire the CEBA in order to start the business, that is the question.
I believe so, yes.
Okay,
Is CEBA
so the
considered
CEBA,
for a new opening of a franchise business?
uh, if so, what I understand is that client wanted to apply for the CEBA in order to start the brand new franchise business.
Correct.
Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, so I will explain in a way, because CEBA loan is not at all by the bank. It is a government funded loan, and CEBA loan is provided to the businesses, which businesses are existing business prior to the COVID situation, right? So I'm highly doubtful that those clients will qualify in order to acquire the CEBA loan if the business was not in existence prior to the COVID situation. But at the same time, I will recommend that client to review on to the government website about the CEBA and how they can acquire for the CEBA, because bank is only a facilitator for the CEBA. Bank is not at all determining whether a client will qualify to get the CEBA loan or not, because that is a government funded loan.
Correct. And the CEBA is a federal government initiative. So if you go to the federal government website for COVID support, you'll be able to access all the information on the Canadian Emergency Business Account, CERS, the Canadian SEWS, so the Canadian Emergency Wage Subsidy. So for those of you that maybe are in business, there are some relief programs that you might be eligible for to help you. It doesn't look like there are any other questions. I will just give it another minute or two to allow people an opportunity to type in their questions. But as a friendly reminder, this session is being recorded, so we will be sharing the link to the recording with you later today. I will also be emailing you some links to some additional resources, as well as a copy of today's presentation. So if you were unable to make notes, you'll be able to refer back to the slide deck that TD has prepared. Doesn't look like there are any other questions, so we do want to be mindful of everyone's time this morning. I just want to thank TD again for your sponsorship and partnership of this great 4-part series we're hosting during the month of June. We do have some really exciting topics coming up. So the sessions are being held every Wednesday during the month of June from 11 a.m. till noon. So next week's session is on a small business guide to building an online presence. So for any of you that maybe aren't online or are thinking about starting a business and would like to get your business online, this session is for you. It is being presented by Christina of Noya Designs, and she will talk to you about all your different options for getting a website up and running. Followed by another presentation on the 16th by Nikki Pett, and this particular session is really great for those of you that might already be in business, but also great content for those that are thinking about starting a business. And it's all around relationship marketing and relationship ROI, how you can build stronger connections with customers to ensure that you maintain and retain your most profitable contacts to ensure that you're hitting your sales targets. So that one we're really looking forward to. And then the last session in the series is how to successfully market your small business with photo and video. And this is more important, or so important, more than ever now because of the fact that we do need to get our businesses online. So this particular session is being led by Daniel from Daniel Guerra Photography. He is also a partner in Noya Designs, and he's going to talk to you about simple tools that you can use to be able to take your own video and photos for your business, recognizing that when you're starting a business or you're in business, you don't always have the resources to be able to pay for these kinds of services. So this is all about how you can do it yourself successfully, and Daniel's going to share some really great tools and resources and tips to ensure that your photos and videos are top notch. So we're really looking forward to the next 3 sessions in the Entrepreneurs Connect series, partnered in partnership with TD. We do have one more question that did come in, so if you're okay, I'd like to ask it on behalf of the client.
Sure.
I run a home music recording studio. I have 2 different target audiences. How do I market to each separately? Some are music creators who I directly work with on their projects, and the other group is music producers, where I provide them with training and online courses about how they can do the same job. So this is a bit of a loaded question. Obviously, you've identified that you have 2 different target audiences. In terms of ways that you can market separately, maybe what we can, I don't know if you have any suggestions or feedback, but perhaps we could follow up with some additional resources in an email as well.
So I will strongly recommend about the banking or financing aspect of both the different businesses. Well, of course, he need or she need to find out the ways about the marketing aspect. But so far, if for all 2 separate businesses are there and looking for any kind of a financing, obviously, we will be very much happy to help with that.
Perfect, thank you. And we will follow up in an email with some suggestions and resources to help you look at ways that you can market to each of your different target audiences. We certainly do have access to some resources and some training that is coming up that will really help you dive into that a little bit deeper. With that being said, it doesn't look like there are any other questions. We will be following up, as I said, with follow-up email with the link to the recording, a copy of the presentation, along with some additional resources to help you get started in getting your business off the ground. So thank you so much, TD, for your generous partnership of this series. Thank you for your time today. And we look forward to having you join us for the upcoming sessions this month. So hope everyone has a wonderful day and is able to get outside to enjoy this beautiful weather. Thank you again, TD. I appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.